Welcome back to the Settle Talk podcast, where we talk about growth, goals, living in your truth, and living in your purpose. Today, we're going to talk about a topic that speaks louder than words ever could. And that topic is dressing for success and dressing accordingly. Now, we've all heard the phrase, don't judge a book by its cover. But let's be honest, we all judge a book by its cover. Matter of fact, everybody does. Because in the first 7 seconds of meeting someone, you're already making decisions on how to treat that person or how that person is to be perceived, basically by what they're wearing. So the real question is what message are we sending when we present ourselves to the public? Now, when you dress accordingly, that means that one, you're tuned in. That means you're focused on the task at hand. That means you got up that morning, you prepared yourself not only mentally, but you prepared yourself visually, and you're ready to take on the task full steam ahead. Secondly, you're paying attention to your surroundings. So if you are at an event like a business meeting or a business event, or if you're meeting a client and you have a product that you're trying to present, you're also presenting yourself as well as presenting the project or the product. Also, you care about the people, the occasion, and you're also setting the expectations. Because remember, the first 7 seconds, a person already is deciding on how that they're going to treat you or how you are to be perceived just by what you're wearing. It also says that you respect where you are and you respect who you are and you respect the people around you. A part of the conversation already happens before you even speak a word. How many times have you been out somewhere and you saw someone and before they said anything, you look them up or down and you see like, wow, this person looks kind of, you know, not put together, or this person is, doesn't really care, or they look kind of sloppy. And that person could very well be intelligent and that person could be very knowledgeable on whatever it is they're trying to present. However, if they are not dressed the part, it kind of makes it hard for you to focus on what they are trying to present or what they're trying to teach, because it's almost kind of like it's almost kind of like they're saying, well, they didn't have enough discipline or enough respect for themselves to present themselves in an orderly fashion or in a respectable fashion. So then why should I take that person serious, or why should I even have any interest of what they're talking about? So that says a lot. I know when I was working at one of the largest fashion industries in the United States, I mean, it's no surprise. I used to be a general manager at Ralph Lauren, and I would interview a lot of gentlemen, a lot of young kids, a lot of young men, a lot of young women, and they would come in the store for the job interview not put together well. And it's, to me, I really just don't understand like where we came up with this idea of I'm just going to keep it real, or I'm just going to put on whatever, or accept me how I am, or it is what it is. Like, I really don't get that. I know in church, God says, come as you are, but in my interpretation, that means come as you are mentally. I mean, like you can go to, because you go to your job and you dress accordingly, but then you go to like, an event or a job interview and you don't dress accordingly. And it's really weird because that's a very good point. It's like people dress accordingly after they get the job, but they don't dress accordingly to get the job, which is really weird because at Ralph Lauren, we did have a dress code and you had to meet that dress code when you were there. Now, I'm not trying to say that you need to have like the best designer brands or the most expensive clothing, but you can present yourself in a respectable manner, because it does let the other person know that you respect yourself, you respect them, you respect where you are, and you respect the occasion. If you're on a business meeting or a business event or at a networking event, now, your goal is to network, true. Your goal is to network, make business deals, or present whatever product you have. But like I said earlier, what you're wearing makes a statement before you even speak. The conversation has already started. I have a example. When I was a little bit younger, I had to go to court because of a traffic violation. Now I couldn't drive because my license was taken from me at the time, but I wore a suit to court. My mother had to actually take me to court. This was a while ago, so I wore a suit to court. So as I was in court signing in, there were so many people coming up to me asking me, was I a lawyer and could I represent them? Because my suit was put together really well. And I say that to say this, that they probably had the same thing. They probably was there for the same reason I was there, for a traffic violation. But because I presented myself in a respectable manner, I had all of these people already thinking and assuming that I was a lawyer just by the way, just by what I had on. So that goes back to my point that people already are making decisions on how to treat you and how to perceive you by what you're wearing. Now, once again, I want to make this very clear. It's not about like buying top name brand items or buying like the most expensive suit or the most expensive dress. It's about taking what you have and making it fit and suit the occasion that you are attending. Now, when you dress for success, it's all about like alignment. And when you dress up, you feel better. And when you feel better, you do better. It's all about like the fit, putting yourself together, making sure that everything is ironed, making sure your shirt is tucked in, making sure you have on a nice belt, making sure that you have on decent shoes. And a lot of times people get the idea that you have to buy name brand and really expensive items in order to look good. Now, I'm here to tell you that that's wrong, because I worked at a suit store, and to be honest with you, it's all about the tailoring. And tailoring is not that expensive. You can buy a suit at TJ Maxx, and somebody can buy a suit at, I don't know, one of the most expensive brand names there is. However, if that person from TJ Maxx has a nice tailor and tailors that suit to fit their body, they're going to look better than a person that has that $5,000 or $6,000 suit if it doesn't fit right, and if it's not tailored right. So the money has nothing to do with how you present yourself. And I think that's where a lot of people get everything mixed up, because it doesn't take a lot of money to iron your shirt. And I know a lot of people don't iron anymore, but you can put it in the dryer to get out all the wrinkles. It doesn't take a lot of money to go get you a nice pair of khakis or a nice pair of navy blue khakis or a white button down or a blue button down. It doesn't take that at all. It doesn't take much for you to have like have like a lineup, or make sure your hair is edged up, or make sure you're well groomed. How you present yourself is that lasting impression that people have. And you only get one opportunity to make a first impression. You don't get it again. And you might meet that person and y'all might do a lot of deals together, but they always going to remember that first time that they met you and what they thought of you and how you came across to them. So you have to look at it like this. When you go out in public, what you wear is your armor. It's what people see first. Is what people notice first. Is how they perceive you and the ideas and whatever they're going to formulate about you. That's where that comes from. Now, dressing accordingly is also dressing for success. Because if you want to be a leader, you got to dress like a leader. And that's all about thinking like a leader. If you're going to dress like a leader, how many times have they told you you have to dress the part? You have to make sure that you are looking the part, making sure you're clean cut. Think about it like this. So no matter what candidate you like, as far as the presidency, imagine if the president walked around in jogging pants and a t-shirt and they're getting up giving a speech about what they want to do for the country. You're not going to respect that person. Now, if they have on a suit, you're more inclined to listen to them and think about what they have to say and listen to what they have to say. But if they come up there looking any kind of way, hair not groomed, they're not wearing a suit, or they're not wearing a button down or some nice slacks or shoes, you're not going to take them that serious. Or think about this. Say if you need a lawyer. Well, hopefully you don't need a lawyer in a bad way. But if you need a lawyer and your lawyer comes in and he just has on a raggedy t-shirt, he has on some jeans and some shoes that just look beat up, you're not going to take them serious. I remember when I was doing real estate in Illinois, I used to dress up all the time. I used to wear a sports coat, and I used to always wear a button down and some khakis, and they would always tell me like I'm dressed up. But we're in a business environment. You should take it serious. I know I took it serious. When I would go meet with different clients and I would show houses, I'm always in a suit and tie, or I at least have on a sport coat because I want to put my best foot forward. You have to dress like you're already there. And, they're more inclined to take you serious. And then also how you present yourself is also sometimes the majority of the time is the respect that people give you. If you come looking kind of bummy and not put together, people are going to treat you bummy and not put together. But if you come present yourself put together, then they're going to treat you like you got it together and give you a little bit more a level of respect. Now everything else is up to you. Now the conversation after that is on you, but you do make a statement without saying anything, how you present yourself. And I would see it all the time. And even if you're just going somewhere simple like to the grocery store, or if you're going to a mall, you still want to make yourself look decent. I really don't understand like how people go to the mall or to the store and they just have on like pajamas, or they have on some socks and slides. You never know who you're going to meet. You're going to miss out on that opportunity on how you're perceived, because people are going to think you're not put together. And I know people are going to say, well, you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. Well, you shouldn't judge what everybody does. Everybody does. It is what it is. I know like it's this whole big thing going on right now where you have a lot of people, young ladies walking around with the bonnets. And a lot of those young ladies could be highly intelligent. I mean, very intelligent. The clothes don't make you smart, or they don't make you unintelligent. However, it does make a first impression, because the people are going to assume, and I know you're going to say, well, they're going to think whatever they want to think, but you don't know who you out there meeting. You don't know who's out there looking at you. And if you are trying to work for a company, or you're trying to work, yeah, if you're trying to work for a company, or you're trying to like present something that you're trying to sell, it's like, people not going to want to be a part of somebody who's not put together, especially if you're trying to get a job. Why would they want you representing them if you can't even take time out of your day to put on something decent? And now this is another pet peeve of mine too. When I'm out and about, and for the life of me, I really don't understand how, and this is geared towards the young ladies, I really don't understand how, if you are going out on a date and you have dressed up, you went out and got your nice dress, you got you some nice shoes on, you went and got your hair done, and the guy looks like he just rolled out of bed. He's wearing jogging pants, he's wearing slides. I mean, like, to me, that's just letting you know that he really doesn't respect you. Like, why would you even be out like that? I really don't understand, like, how you go on a date with someone and you just look any kind of way, hair not combed, and you like, oh, this is me, I'm keeping it real. Well, that just says a lot about you. And vice versa. If you're a young gentleman and you dressed all up and you took time and you put forth an effort, and then she comes out looking any kind of way, I mean, to me, that's a red flag. I mean, that's to me. I have a daughter, and if my daughter is going out on a date, right now she's too young to date, she's 12. However, when she starts going out to date, and the guy shows up at the house and he looks like he is not put together, that just lets me know that he really doesn't respect her, he really doesn't respect the family, and he really doesn't respect himself. Like, I really don't understand how that is. It doesn't take much to put on a nice shirt and make sure it fits right. It doesn't take much to put on a nice pair of jeans and make sure they fit right when you're going out and you're taking someone out. Now, I get it, like when, say y'all been together for years and you're going out, even then, y'all are representing each other. You never know who you're going to meet. I mean, I just never understood that. When I was younger, in high school, it's like we were really preppy when we went to high school. Like, even the most gangsterous dudes at school would be dressed up in like cardigans, button-down cardigans, sport coats. We used to have like the khakis. We used to wear like the Bass Bucks, the Weegens. I mean, we used to dress up and we used to take pride in it, man. And nowadays it's just like, I would go pick my son up for high school when he was at high school at the time. I would go pick my son up from high school. I would see like the kids come out of there like they just rolled out the bed. And I'm like, their parents let them go out the house like that. They're representing their parents, and they might be straight A students, but how they present themselves and what they have on is a representation of pretty much who you are, and pretty much representation of your family and your upbringing. Like, think about it. Back in like the from the 1920s, the 50s and the 40s, they used to dress up everywhere they went. I mean, the young ladies used to be downtown, whether it was going toward to the market. They used to have on like their skirts, and they used to have on their dresses and hats. The men would wear their fedoras, they would wear sport coats or a button down. My grandfather, he used to cut the grass in a fedora, a short sleeve button down, dress slacks, and dress shoes. Now, I'm not saying that you have to do all that, but that's the way the times were back then. I mean, like, they would dress up even when they were protesting, everywhere they went, even when they were going to a football game or a sporting event. Now, you don't have to dress to a T when you're going to a sporting event. However, you still want to be decent. You still want to make sure that you're putting your best foot forward, because you never know who you will meet. You never know who you will meet. So, I mean, I really hope that we turn back the hands of time, and we get back to being a more, presenting ourselves in a more respectable manner, because I think that has a lot to do with the mood of America right now. A lot of negativity, it shows in like the way we carry ourselves and the way we handle ourselves, and this whole keep it real movement and things like that. Well, it's okay to keep it real, but to keep it real educated. Keep it real groomed. Keep it real put together. People are just like, well, I'm just going to go like this. Why? Why be lazy on that? Because if you're lazy on that, then that just lets me know that you're lazy on a lot of other things. It doesn't take much. Even if you don't have a button down, even if you don't have a nice shirt, if you have a nice t-shirt, make sure it's ironed and it's clean. Make sure your pants fit. Like, all of this, like, sagging and things like that. I really don't understand that. And then it's another thing. It's like, if you have on skinny jeans, why are you like sagging in those jeans? Or if you are a heavier set gentleman, why are you wearing like, skinny pants? It doesn't really make sense. You can wear pants that fit, and get them tailored, and make them fit how your body type is, and I think that will present itself a little bit better. I got a buddy out there. His name is JC Scott. If you want to get your suit tailored, or JC Scott is definitely the person to go to. You can go to his Instagram, and it's JC Scott. He's a clothier. I used to work with him at Brooks Brothers. He'll get you right as far as getting your suit put together, and he got like a lot of other things that he offers as well. But make sure you put together, men and women. Put your best foot forward. I know everybody wants to keep it real and things like that, but you can keep it real groomed. You can keep it real put together. And I know haircuts and all that is expensive right now, but keep your haircut, or at least keep your hair edged up. I really don't understand this whole movement of the bummier you look, the more real you're keeping it. And what really is another pet peeve is when you have older gentlemen. I expect it out of, teenagers, because they might not know. But if you're in your 20s, your 30s, 40s, or even 50s, and you're doing that, man, it's time to get out of that. It's time to get your nice sport coat, go to a tailor, get it tailored in. It doesn't cost as much as you think it is to get your clothes tailored. I mean, if you want to get your shirt taken in on the sides and the sleeves, at the most it's going to cost you $20, $30. Your sport coat, I mean, if you go to it depends on what you got to get done to it, but it's not going to cost you over $100 to get that done. And once you get it done, you don't have to get it done anymore. Also, the good thing about it is once you get your clothes tailored, it's going to force you to stay in shape, because you can always buy big and tailor it down. But once it's tailored down, it's not going to be big again. You can't I mean, like if you gain some weight or you blow up, then you're gonna have to get another wardrobe. So it's gonna help you stay in shape, man. It's gonna help you feel good. It's gonna help you look good. You know, when you think about back when you were younger and school started and you got your clothes and you wanted to be the first one to go to the pencil sharpener. I'm telling my age right now. But when we used to go to a high school or whatever and you get your new outfit, everybody had to sharpen their pencil because they wanted to go up to the front so that they could let everybody see the outfit. And then, I got best dressed in high school. So we had like, everybody was like dressed like real preppy and things like that. And everybody was dressed to a T, man. So I say that to say this, man. Your clothes are your armor. How you present yourself, the conversation starts before you start speaking. When you enter a room, what you have on already starts the conversation before you speak or say one word. So just always be aware of how you present yourself. Always be aware of your surroundings. Always make sure that you are tuned in to where you are, because it shows that you respect people, you respect your surroundings, and then you also respect yourself with being well groomed and well put together. So hopefully this helps someone and it sheds a little bit of light on how you should present yourself, and it helps you become more productive, and it also help you get that opportunity that you're looking for. But in the meantime, make sure you always keep it country, keep it cowboy, and God bless America.